What's going on everybody, this is Emon here. Today I have the Huawei Honor 5X. I have been using this device for the past 2 weeks. It's an amazing premium piece of tech at very enticing price point of $200 in the US. And speaking of tech, I invited Kevin the Tech Ninja for his first impression of the 5X. So before we get into full review, let's get started with amazing Kevin the Tech Ninja's first impression of the 5X.
Hey, what's up guys? My name is Kevin the Tech Ninja and I was invited to talk about the Honor 5X. So big thanks to Huss for allowing me to talk about this phone. The number one thing about this phone is that I got it back at CES, and when it was unveiled, they didn't give the price to the very end. Now I was thinking it was a $400, $500 phone, maybe $350. But when they gave the price at 200 bucks, I think that becomes a really good steal. Hardware wise, you have a full aluminum build, which is really good, and you don't see it that much at this price point. Also, you have the fingerprint sensor on the back, which is really nice. It's actually very responsive compared to other fingerprint sensors we've seen. Huawei does an amazing job with the fingerprint reader, especially since the Nexus 6P has the same thing. It has a pretty decent camera on board too, which actually in this price range is probably one of the better cameras. Now, when you're in that $250 to $200 price range, you have some competition. You have Motorola E. You also have like the Idol 3 as well. But comparing this to the Idol 3 and also all the other blue phones out there and also Motorola, this is probably the better phone out there. It feels more premium in the hand, the buttons feel really nice, and the performance is actually pretty good. It's not bad. I played most games without much lag. Maybe a little bit slower than some of the flagship devices I've used, but it's very, very manageable. And when I used it for at least a week and a half, I had no issues with it at all. And the battery life is pretty decent too. It's not great like the Mate 8, but it's pretty decent. Now, one negative thing that you're gonna run when you have an Honor phone or a lot of other Huawei phones is that you're gonna be using their software, and their launcher is really bad in my opinion because it uses like the iOS layout where all your icons are laid out as little squares and that's it. You could throw Nova on top of it, but it doesn't change the fact of the actual app drawer and also the shade drop down for your notifications. It's really iOS-like, and I just really wish they stuck to Android's roots when it comes to building their own software. As always guys, my name is Kevin the Tech Ninja. If you guys enjoyed this, I have to give a shout out to myself. Check out my channel and enjoy the video. Thanks.
Big shout out to Kevin the Tech Ninja. Kevin is an amazing YouTuber, so definitely go check out his channel. I'll leave a link below for his channel. Without further ado, let's get started with the full review. Alright, let's talk about the design. We have an Honor 5X of metal construction phone with a pretty amazing design language for a budget phone. It's a unibody metallic design at 5.5-inch display, is big without being unmanageable. And it has the slight curves on the back of the phone to make a comfortable fit on the hand. In my opinion, this is the perfect size phone that feels pretty secure on my hand, and I really like all the detail that has been put into this phone. It seems like this phone may have borrowed some design language from the Nexus 6P. At the bottom, you'll find the micro USB, headphone jack on the top, and on the right, you'll find the power button and the volume rockers. The device features a 5.5-inch IPS display at 1080p resolution at 41 ppi. The display is quite impressive, features a vibrant color that aren't oversaturated. The colors aren't as punched out as the AMOLED display, but it's still pretty bright and contrast is good. Display is quite bright for outdoor visibility. Overall, it's a pretty sharp and very clear display. 5X features a 13 megapixel rear shooter with f2.0 aperture and an LED flash along with 5 megapixel camera in the front. There is no image stabilization, but the photos are overexposed time to time, but you can still get some pretty decent shots with this camera when the lighting situation is good. Camera is usually afterthought for a budget handset, but Honor is improving things here. Overall, I think this camera is highly capable for such an inexpensive device. Camera app is also pretty decent with few different setting options, and for those of you selfie lovers, they included the photo mode and the beauty mode. And here's a sample picture. Photo mode, beauty mode. Hardware is the best thing about this device. It's aluminum built unibody metal design phone. The only place you'll see plastic is top and the bottom of the back of the device, and I agree with the Kevin the Tech Ninja. This phone looks and feels very premium on the hand. I really like the metal construction design language. On the bottom, despite the appearance of dual speaker, only the grill on the right houses speakers and the sound quality is okay. I think the sound quality gets distorted pretty easily. Also, on the back of the phone, we have the fingerprint scanner. I think this is the very first phone under $200 to feature a fingerprint scanner, and this thing works really well. It's almost as accurate as my Nexus 6P. You can touch it once to wake up and unlock the device, and what's unique about this fingerprint sensor are the additional gestures. Swiping up on the fingerprint scanner shows the recent apps screen, and tapping and holding takes you back to the home screen, and swiping down brings down the notification panel without the unnecessary hand gymnastic on this 5.5-inch screen. Another really impressive feature on this device is the support for dual SIM card and a microSD card. So you could be rocking a T-Mobile SIM card and AT&T SIM card along with the microSD all at the same time. Under the hood, 5X is featuring a Snapdragon 615 with Adreno 405 GPU along with 2 gigs of RAM. This isn't the latest and greatest processing power, but for normal use it seems to work beautifully. It will handle most things smoothly, but I noticed some of the apps are a little sluggish here and there. The apps takes a little extra second to open, however, I think this is due to lack of Huawei's refinement of EMUI software. Speaking of software, 5X is running Huawei's EMUI software on top of Android 5.1. This software is pretty different from stock Android, but rather very iPhone-like. The recent app screen looks like older version of Android, and the notification panel is organized into two parts, one for notification and another for shortcuts. Also, there are no app draws, so you have to organize your apps into folders like iPhone. I am not a big fan of this launcher, so I installed the Google Now launcher, which brings back the app drawer and kind of resembles the stock UI. Also, we should expect the Android 6.0 pretty soon. This device features a 3000 mAh battery, which allows for pretty impressive battery life. There is no fast charging technology, but the device will last about 5.5 hours of screen on time depending on what you're doing. You can improve the battery life by taking advantage of the EMUI battery saving option. Using the smart mode alone, you can easily get an extra hour of screen on time. One thing I noticed about this device, it takes about 4 hours to charge from 0 to 100%. Overall, I think this is a very sleek and highly affordable device offering impressive 5.5-inch pretty vibrant display, beautiful metallic design, amazing fingerprint sensor, amazing battery life, and pretty decent performance. I think this is the best value handset to date for $200. Leave a comment to let me know what you guys think about the 5X. Like the video if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you for watching.